Okay, the Actors Workshop. Where's the Actors Workshop at? It's in the mind, the open mind. That's where the Actors Workshop happens, right? Boom. So it's different methods or techniques that actors use when they're learning acting. So let's just go over this first method here. They say the idea is to bring a sense of realism to your performance by breaking down the role based on the character's circumstance. So what circumstance is this character in right now? Like, so you will ask yourself, like, who am I? So if you reading the script, you got a script. Who am I? Where am I at? When is it? Like, what time period? What do I want and why? How will I get it? What do I need to overcome? Right? Among acting techniques, this is the one that is unique. Actors often use the magic if, by which they imagine themselves in their character's circumstances. So could you imagine yourself in a circumstance where your money is low, your spouse is not being faithful, and then you trying to figure out what to do, and you don't know, and you don't really have help or outlet. So now, if you could put yourself in that position, you would say, who am I? I'm this person. Where am I at? I'm in this poorest part of the city. When is it? You say it's modern day. What do I want? I don't want to be broke and can't pay these bills. So I want to be able to make some money. So how will I get this money? What do I need to overcome to get this money? Now, all of these things are inside of you when you acting this character out. That's what they're saying. You imagine yourself being in that circumstance of being broke and the guy cheating and all that. So if you could imagine that, then that's where, and you act from that point. That's where you're using this method, the first method. So let's go to the second method, the method acting technique, method acting. I know you guys heard, or you may not have heard of method acting, but that's a very popular acting style. So this one was inspired by the last technique and one of the most popular. Again, the idea is for the performance to be as emotionally realistic as possible. Actors are taught how to use their own experiences, to recall a strong emotion from their past. However, it's a misconception that this acting technique requires you to stay in character both on and off screen. So what he's saying here, right here, both on and off screen, people thought you had to stay in character all the time in order to do method acting. It's like, you don't have to stay in character all the time to do method acting. I had a guy come in. It was dope, though. I had a guy come in for a vampire role. He came in as like this dressed in dark character. He was just this dark character the whole time. And then when he performed, he was the dark character. Nobody knew what he was doing. I had a clue of what he was doing, but other people just thought he was a weird white guy in the audition. But I'm like, it's a vampire movie. He looks like a good candidate for this role. You feel me? But then when he performed as the character he came in, I'm like, oh, okay, he was already in character when he came in. So that's a form, I guess, of taking method acting to the extreme. But he did stand out in the audition. But what I found out later, talking to my guy MSB, is that some actors train themselves just to ace the audition. They don't even care about the role so much because they don't psych that, because they be like, man, we probably ain't gonna get the role. So they just amp themselves up to go do the audition. So that's something that I learned from there. But anyway, that's method acting, and you can see the progression of, okay, right here, I'm gonna use my own experiences. If I was use the same scenario from last thing, but now instead of me just imagine myself in the situation, I'm gonna try to put myself back in a similar situation as the one that I'm doing now. And I'm gonna try to see, how did I feel back at that time when it happened? Like, you might not be broke right now. You might not only have $200 or $500 to your name. You might got 10 bands, 20 bands, 30 bands to your name and shit. So you might not be able to all the way fully relate in that mindset. But if you take yourself back to a time when you only had $200-300 and the bills was rolling in, this nigga tripping, you know what I'm saying? You could take how did you feel then? You know what I'm saying? What was your thoughts then? And then you bring that back into this character and you act it from that perspective. So that's a method acting technique. So let's go to technique number 3. So this was developed by the first method as well. The goal is to rid yourself of any predispositions and go on instinct. Don't think about none of that other stuff. Just go on instinct. What happened to it? Hold up 1 second. Oh yeah, it just loaded up. Hold up. We loading up. Hold up 1 second. Boom. Okay, boom. Okay, boom. We was right here. So it's like whatever is the other thing that you was basing it off some previous experience. He's like, no, we're gonna erase that. We're not gonna work off you just being in the circumstance. We're not just gonna work off what you had did and felt in the past, what you did as a person. No, we're gonna come into here and just go off instinct. So you could be more in the present and in the moment on the stage. So this focus heavily on improvisation. That's like reality show stuff, in the moment, improvisation. We got to switch it up on the fly. In those type of exercises, in the use of imagination to evoke emotion versus memory. So we was going to memory to try to get the emotion, because that's where you acting from, that energy and emotion. That's what you using to bring out through this character. But instead of going from some previous emotion you felt, now you're gonna use your imagination to say, how would this character feel? Not even you, just kind of take it out. What's your instinct to go right here and pull and act through here? You know what I'm saying? Nothing previous, just right now in the moment. How would the hell I feel if this happened? So that's the third technique. So let's go into this fourth technique. Now, he was originally trained by the first guy, and his technique taps more into the subconscious mind and shows physicality. For example, you might physicalize an internal need into a gesture by repeating the gesture, then internalize the emotion and use it in the performance. So now you're gonna whatever your internal need is, you're gonna physicalize it. You're gonna create, you're gonna turn it into a gesture. You're gonna take it and you're gonna embody that, and you're gonna turn it into a gesture. And then you're gonna internalize that emotion, and then you're gonna use this they do it in some kind of like forms of NLP, where they'll take a color and then they'll have you associate a feeling with a color. It's like, how does a color have a feeling? I don't know, but we're gonna associate passion with the color red. You see what I'm saying? So now I can internalize this color red and I can act from this color red. So this is another technique here, but let's go past this. Now let's go to this one. I like this one. All of them it's like a mesh of all of these ones where you come to get into the gorilla technique that I'm gonna teach you guys. But this one right here is where it's more the traditional teaching of acting and how to sustain. So let's go into it. It's created by the playwright. Here they use 4 steps to break down the scene. So the literal, the want, the essential action, and the as if. So in doing so, the idea is that the actor will then become immersed in the character's world for a more realistic performance. So now you went from the first one where I'm taking the circumstance and I'm pulling from it, to the second one where I was taking a previous emotion and I'm pulling from it, to the third one where I disconnect from all of that and I'm pulling off of just instinct, to a fourth one where I'm not just pulling from instinct, I'm internalizing the whole thing, and then I'm pulling from a more, not a less instinctive place, but from a place that I just like I went inside myself, created something, and came out with it. So that's like the fourth one. This fifth one, now I'm gonna look at everything around me in this world, and I'm gonna act from that point of view. So literally, what's happening in the scene? What's really going on in the scene? This guy came in, he looking crazy. I'm sitting here, you know what I'm saying? So now I'm literally putting myself. What's literally going on, and then what does the character want? What do you want? What does the character want out of in this scene? So it's a whole thing going on, but what's the want of this character in this scene? Now, the essential action. What is this scene trying to get? What is trying to be told by this scene? Somebody wrote this scene to try to tell a story. What are they trying to say with this scene? And then the as if statement. So it's as if, you know what I'm saying? So now I'm paralleling. It's like something else. So what is this like to me? This situation, what is it like to me? So I'm taking all of these things into account and I'm acting from, okay, this is what's going on. This is what the character wants to get out of the scene. This is what the people that's writing the movie is trying to portray from the scene, and taking all of that really feel like we got to, I don't want to use my scene. So, okay, we use another scene. I had a scene where I'm trying to show that the guy was going through a bunch of hard times. He even had to fight this big old broad. She trying to beat him up, and he big as hell. He like, well, I can't do nothing but shoot you, bitch. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, that's like Harlem Nights. You know what I mean? So now that's an as if. So now we got those four things, and that's how you go with that technique. So this is the little breakdown here. I'm gonna just read it to you because I kind of like it. The technique is broken down into two parts: think before you act, and act before you think. So think before you act involves script analysis. So what is the character literally doing? What does the character want? What is the essential nature or the action of the scene? The idea is that the character is an illusion. The character is an illusion. We create from the choices we make from the action. So you make choices that are 100% uniquely your own to serve the story. So you making your own choices in there. So you thinking before you act, because you getting to see everything in there. You getting to sit back, and now you about to act based off all this other information. So you thinking before you act. But then watch this. That they say the act before you think part is where you learn to put your attention on the other person in the scene so that you know how to play the action. So now I done figured out how I should be playing this role, but now I got to put my attention. Now I done thought about it. Now I got to act before I think, because I can't just act based off what I want to do. I got to see what this other person is doing, and that's where the chemistry come in, and that's what's so important on the set. You know what I'm saying? I want to say on my set, but that's what's so important is the chemistry, because they saying something, and I'll tell you guys about it later, but they might not say exactly what's the script on paper. And if you say what's exactly on the script on paper, then you not really in chemistry or in harmony with this other person that's acting in the scene. It's not going to come out as beautifully as if you guys had laid the script down and just was going at that this moment is real. You see? So this part of the technique leads to the actor to be spontaneous, imaginative, and in the moment. The Atlantic approach to emotion is addressed in the final step of script analysis when we ask ourselves, what is it like to me? It is as if we don't use emotional recall, but we engage our imagination, becoming an open vessel for the emotions. Okay, so boom, that's what that's saying. This is the last one that I'm gonna get into. These things are important. So I'm breezing through them, but you see how I'm stopping, and I'm really taking time with each slide. It's only like 3 more slides left, but I'm really taking time with each slide because all of these things are important when you act, and to know these different types of acting techniques to kind of fill out so you can have a better understanding of how to play the role. So David and Bill said to us that there's a point where you need to learn in front of an audience. You need to learn in front of an audience. So in the final semester of all these programs, the students perform several plays in our theater so they can have this experience of performing in front of audiences. As part of creating their own theater company, we give the students the space and a budget, and they really learn how to produce a play before they walk out the door. So this is what we doing here. This actors workshop and this acting program is about you guys being able to rehearse, being able to perform. I'm gonna show you from the guerrilla. When we go, right now, I'm going into the guerrilla tactic, the guerrilla method. But we're gonna show you how to get your performance in, so you perform it more, and then you're gonna be able to actually perform in front of the camera. But it's gonna be part of a movie that's coming out. So it's so meta. I hope you guys are excited about this. Now let's go into the guerrilla technique. I'm standing up for this one. I'm saying ain't no words right here. I'm standing up for this one. Why? Because the way that I work with actors is different. And it's different because it comes from necessity. Because we come to set, and like 47% of Black males in the city of Detroit are functioning illiterates. I understand that. That means that I could read and write at the level of being able to get through life, but when it comes to real stuff that I got to read a bunch, it's not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? So if I got a script that's 100 pages long, which is a short script, you know what I'm saying? 90, 100 pages short, the guys weren't reading it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of guys weren't reading it. So I had to develop a style to where we're not just walking on the set with no script at all and trying to freeball it. We're not doing that. But it's not as word intensive as I would like it to be, so it could say exactly what I wanted to say. So now a method of acting had to come where we got less words for people to read, but could still get the full range of dialogue that we need in order to fill out the film, the scene. You see what I'm saying? So that's what we come into with this guerrilla technique that I call it. I like to call it guerrilla method as well, but this is where that come from. So now I come from reality TV where we don't have a script. We just in this bitch freeballing it for real, and I'm trying to instigate some shit so we got something to shoot. You feel me? So, but it was still a sense of things need to be said. This thing needs to be led in a certain direction in order for it to go where we're trying to have it go and for it to have entertainment appeal. So these are the things that we were thinking as we were going through this and developing this strategy. I like to say we a lot, but so that we could work with the actors that come for hood movies, because we doing hood movies, man. You don't have to have a whole long ass word by word script for the thing. We just need to get what we trying to get across, right? So I use the example. A lot of times the stripper came in. Now, she was a stripper. She came in trying to read the script word for word and memorize a brand new script. I'm like, man, she's butchering this shit, but she a stripper, and I had never really worked with a stripper before. But what I do know about strippers is they sit down with person after person after person after person at their job, the strip club. They take this random stranger into the back, and now they talking to this person, and these people they don't even know or care about, but they have to create a sense that they're excited about your presence. And they have to create a sense that they're actually listening. They have to be listening so they can respond. And then they have to tell you things, but they're not trying to tell you their real life. They're not trying to tell every person that come in there their real life. So now they got something that they constructed that they're doing over and over and over again, better and better, just character that they're creating. And more people they see, they trying different stuff, and they finding out what worked. And now they're creating a character based on the people that's coming in there, and now they created this whole character that works. These people like the people that they created, and they go to work and they transform instantly to this character and start acting. That's period. You know what I'm saying? So I'm knowing that this years of training on of acting a character that's not your real self is inside of this person. But I'm like, how do I unlock it? How can I get her to stop reading every word on the fucking paper and just see what we trying to go with it? It was like one of those other methods where at first I'm like, let me just get the essence of what we doing here. Listen, like take the script, put it down. Look, you trying to tell this nigga that this nigga playing him, and you ain't gonna fuck with him no more if he don't wake up to it and man up. That's what you trying to say. You see what I'm saying? She like, oh, okay, I see what you're saying. I'm like, all them niggas you said what you know what I'm saying? Don't even read shit. Don't even think about what you just read. Just listen to what I'm saying. This nigga, he getting played by the nigga he worked for. He just came in here. You know what I'm saying? Y'all broke as hell, and he ain't get no money. He keep doing dirt for this nigga. And you ain't got no money to pay the bills. Y'all gonna get kicked out. You about to stop fucking with this nigga. You gotta let this nigga know. Get it through to him. And she popped up in the next time I call it action. It was like she was a professional, instantly a professional, because she had all of that experience dealing with people and having to put this face on. And how many of us in society have to put this face on when we go to places to get by? This is not the you that you are in your most normal self, but it's a part of you that you develop and that you tap into and you act out. So that's the essence of the technique that we use here. That okay, I could get into the character. I don't have to know every word on the script. I keep the script intentionally short, just only a couple words on the paper, so that we got the direction of the scene. But when we on set, it's almost all chemistry at that point. So now you playing this person the best way you know how, and they playing this person the best way they know how. It's none of this is on the paper, but it's on the paper. It's already thought out and where we going with it. But now he trying it this way. You see him trying it that way. So now you trying it this way, but you thought you was gonna try it this way, but see, he did that. Like, I'm gonna do it this way now. So now we developing the scene. I seen it like Spanky Hayes did it to me. Spanky did it to me. So I see him over there charging up. He doing like he coming down the court. It's cold as hell outside. But he like he doing basketball. He threw his legs. He's shooting a fake 3-pointer and shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what is he doing? He was charging up on me. So in the scene was written for at the end, me to say something fly and walk off cool and shit. You know what I'm saying? But Spanky wasn't having it because he been acting too long and shit. So the shit that was on the paper, he was saying, the way he was saying in the shit he added, he kept getting me every time. I'm like, damn, this nigga getting me. I'm supposed to win this bitch. He throwing me off. You know what I'm saying? But he seen what I was doing, and he did something with his character to trump anything that he thought I could do. And that was his purpose. So now I had to up my acting ability in order to get the scene to come out the proper way. But I'm acting based off of his acting. When I'm sitting there across from Carl Payne did his whole scene first. I got his whole, now I had to come back after Carl Payne. Now I was there when we was doing the scene. We was back and forth. And it was organic as fuck. But now, when you got to shoot me, I don't even have Carl Payne sitting there to go off of, you know what I'm saying? So it made it a lot more difficult. I had to recreate the scene when he was sitting there. So, but just bouncing off another person, you could tell that the chemistry is all the way different, and it'll bring the scene all the way to another plateau. So when you acting, I know, this is a real matter, but when you acting with us, my scripts may be 35 pages, 40 pages for a movie. Instead of 90 pages, it's supposed to be a page a minute. So a 90-minute movie, 90 pages. But I got 35, 40 pages, but my movie's still coming out an hour plus, and they plush and full of stuff. Because why? I don't need a lot of words on the paper, because we got a whole world built out over here. We sitting back, okay, now let me go into that, the world build out. I had a friend, one of my frat brothers actually, he had went to Hollywood right after college, and his whole thing was being an actor. So he was acting in all kind of shit. I seen him in shit, the Any Given Sunday and shit, you know what I'm saying? Just going ahead, he doing this thing. We was young back then. But he said they had an exercise that they would do, is they would take a character and they would develop this character out, and then they would put him in all kind of different scenarios all over the place. I had never heard of this, but it made all the sense. So now I'm the rap nigga, and I'm in the grocery store, okay? And then somebody come in and robbing it. What he gonna do? Now we gotta figure out what the nigga would do in that situation. Okay, now I got him at the Coney Island, and he trying to hit on a girl, but she ain't trying to give him the number. So what would he do in that situation? Now it's a drive-by going on, and this nigga got a burner, and he across the street, and this is homies getting shot at. What are you gonna do in that situation? You see what I'm saying? So now we take the character and put him in so many different situations, just hypothetical situations. Now you're starting to get a feel for what the character would do in any situation. Now, when we in our situation with the script, you have a whole wide range of shit that you know about this character now. That's not you. You see what I'm saying? You don't have to base it off your previous experiences. You can. I don't close it off to where you can't. If you have something really close to your life, I try to put people in roles that's kind of close to their life if they're new artists acting. So that it's so easy for you to act and just get your win. You don't have to, be a Will Smith and turn into Muhammad Ali and shit. Your first project, your first couple projects, you could play something close to who you is. get on the screen, have fun, not be embarrassed or trip over all the lines because it's too hard. And then you could be on the screen, all your friends see you, you have fun. That's cool. And then as you go, you know, you like to progress, you're gonna get some more challenging roles, like a death scene. Everybody like, I don't want no death scene. Man, the death scene be the biggest scenes. The biggest scenes in niggas' careers be the death scene. You know what I'm saying? Like when Denzel died in Fallen. You know what I'm saying? And you thought this nigga had killed the spirit that was in him. That was the dopest death scene. He kept getting up and shit. That shit was dope as hell. The death scene be the dopest scene. Or when you playing a character that's totally opposite your character. That's the dopest shit in the world. If I'm playing a character that's the total opposite of my character, that's just the dopest shit. Because now I'm totally full out acting. I don't have no kind of prior experience to go off of. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never been no police officer. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So it's just the other end of the spectrum. So acting is the thing. That's the gorilla technique. And the last part of the gorilla technique, bang! You see this, a gorilla kicking on his glass right here. I like when my man was saying you want to perform in front of a live audience. So this is stage play stuff. They trying to perform in front of a live audience so that they could get the jitters out for when they get in front of a big crowd. They already had that experience. What I did was I had my people out promoting in character. So how many people are you pro? You got this flyer, you hang it, or you got these DVDs, or you putting posters out, or you at a networking event in character, in full out character. Every person you meet, you acting over and over and over again. You selling this DVD in character, but you get to act, you get to practice your approach, interacting with it. Just like this, it's kind of similar to the way the stripper had so much experience, and that's why she was killing everybody and acting, because it's like she really practiced all day, every day at work. So like, it's like a parallel to that. You already need to promote your brand anyway. Why not promote your brand in character? This is guerrilla stuff on how you building your brand at the same time as getting experience. So when you see Sumise in Hood, say you see Sumise in Hood Chicks. Hood Chicks was a really hot movie, man. It's still a really hot movie. People waiting for the part 2 right now, and we coming with it. But when you see Hood Chicks, you don't see, before now, you didn't see any real celebrity face. Like in the come up, you got Carl Payne, you got Martell Lane, you got Spanky Hayes, you got all the kind of, you know, influencers at the time in the thing, Ha Davis in there. You see Hood Chicks, it's us in there. And we got to still hold this movie and hold your attention. And we got to hold it with cool ass scenes and all that kind of shit and ratchet shit. But some acting got to hold somebody's attention in a movie. But Sumise had been out every day selling DVDs, 10, 15 DVDs a day. She's selling at $20. She's doing $200-$300 a day, but she's in character, acting all day long. So when it's time to film and she acting like a motherfucker, we done been training every day, all day to get her dope like that, man. You know what I'm saying? So when it's time to shoot a movie around her, I got confidence shooting a film around a person that practiced like that, that dedicated like that to the craft. So that's another thing. So that gorilla kicking that glass is really you in the real world kicking some ass. You feel me? You feel me? That's the gorilla method. If you got any questions, feel free to shoot them over through the messenger. Now let's wrap it up. Tomorrow we ask. Oh no, it's not a wrap up. Hold up. Okay, boom. I want to show y'all an example of what we're talking about. So look, this is like Rick. I like his audition. Now watch this. Hold up. Let's see if we get it to play for you. Let's see if we can get this boy to pop on. Action.
It's too hard.
What do you mean?
Okay. Well, you can't really hear it because we on this thing. So look at him. Look at him how he on her.
Yeah, but the lights are about.
You see what I'm saying? Hold on, watch this.
It.
Oh, it jumped. Hold on. Watch this. Okay.
Drop.
Yeah, but the lights are about to get cut off, and he knows it.
Look at him. Who would have did that?
Why did you do that?
She trying to
because
react.
I told him he owed you money.
Like, no, you ain't gonna. Look at him. He not just reading on that paper.
Well, does he owe you money or not?
You crossing your boundaries right
Look
now.
at him.
No, nigga, you being weak. If I walk out this door right now, I'm never coming back. Is that what you really want?
He switched from upset. See, it's just, look, it's just an example of some people acting, man. So I know that you guys can do it. I got faith in you guys. You know what I'm saying? It's more acting reels if y'all want to go check out on the YouTube. It's a couple more acting reels for real people auditioning. Everybody is not perfect when they audition. His audition was actually dope, and I was excited for him as a character. Now you got, let me see. There's another guy that was pretty dope. Let me show you guys one more of these guys real quick. Let me see. That was like Rick and Evan. Sin. Let's see, Sin. He a Leo. Y'all know Leos do big hair stuff. Hold up. Let's see if I can get in there. Hold up. Hold on one second, you guys. Hold on. Maybe I got X that. I'm gonna show you guys just one more. Boom. I like his energy too.
Put in all this work and we'll have you room.
Hey, good. You're back about to rock soon. Know that.
But the lights are about to be cut off. And you know,
Always worried about the wrong shit.
what you doing all that for? Because I told you he owed you money?
No, I shouldn't have told you shit.
Okay, but you did, so does he owe you money or not?
Bro, I'm in the fucking line right now.
Come on, nigga, you just being weak.
You see him?
If I walk out this door right now, I'm never coming back. Is that what you really want me to do?
Fire. Look at him.
That's what he's looking like.
He dope as fuck too. Okay. Just showing y'all some stuff, man. So y'all see that y'all can do it, man. It's not impossible for you to get in and start acting and have a good time and be somebody that people want to see. So anyway, tomorrow we gonna actually do the rehearsal. Like y'all seen them, we rehearsing online. Y'all gonna have lines to read back and forth with each other. And then from tomorrow, we're gonna work on a couple things. I'm gonna work on some stuff with y'all while y'all acting. And then I'm gonna select some new characters for Murder City. So hopefully you guys got a lot out of this workshop, man. Yay, yay, yay.